What's going on, housemates? Marcelo here, and I'm recording this video a few hours after Arsenal crashed out of the third round of the FA Cup at home to Manchester United on penalties in what was really just more of the same old. There's no other way to put it. And it's a little hard as an Arsenal content creator to make videos when, we hit this run of form and it's really just the same story over and over. I saw a statistic between the last two games, of course, the Newcastle game and tonight's game, both of which were at home. We have one goal from our last 49 shots, or, nearly 50 shots. And I think what makes this result, of course, hurt even more is the fact that United played with 10 men for about 60 minutes. And it's just an awful result, really. Going through the game itself, starting with our starting 11, it was the 11 it was the back five that I wanted to see, right? We had Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and Miles Lewis-Skelly. But our midfield was a bit bizarre from Mikel. I know that we have to rotate given how many games we have in January. But again, I don't know if it's a case of him underestimating Manchester United or just maybe overestimating our squad depth. But his decision to bench Declan Rice and Thomas Partey and start Jorginho and Mikel Merino was a poor one. And then our front three of Martinelli, Havertz, and Jesus is the one I wanted to see. But the midfield really was a letdown, even before kickoff. Anyways, going into the game itself, it was a frustrating first half, I guess you could say. There wasn't too much in it, really. We failed to create any concrete chances. And again, remember that I was at the game, so I had to sit through 120 minutes plus penalties. I haven't watched the highlights yet, so apologies if a few of the things that I say aren't entirely accurate. But yeah, it wasn't a very eventful first half. I think that Martin Odegaard actually improved, compared to how he's been in the last few weeks. He picked a few really strong passes, but, we didn't really threaten United, and United the same. They didn't do much. But early on in the second half, Gabriel, it sucked that it was him who made the mistake that led to United's goal. He slipped, and Garnacho was able to drive forward with the ball, and he found Bruno Fernandes, who was kind of alone around the top of the box, and he finished really well, to be fair to him. We're down 1-0. Dalot gets sent off with a second yellow card, and it felt like a break that we needed, given how things have been going for us as of late. And thankfully, Gabriel scored not long after. And, it was really nice for Gabriel to redeem himself, of course. And it wasn't from a set piece. Or actually, it might have been. I genuinely don't remember because, again, I haven't watched the highlights since I was at the game. But regardless, ball bounced around, cleared out, and he struck it really well for a center back. And we equalized. And it felt like hopefully this was going to be our game. We get a penalty kick, and I've seen online that it was never a penalty. Again, I haven't even seen it, so I'm not even going to comment on whether it was a penalty or not. Seeing it in live time, it looked fairly soft, but again, I don't want to speak too much on something that I don't know, and I'll make another video in the next day or two, hopefully with a more comprehensive understanding of the game. But I did not want Martin Odegaard to take the penalty. I just feel like based on how he's been playing lately, I don't know if he's been in the best headspace to take such a high pressure penalty to put us up 2-1 in an important game for our season, given that we're so desperate for silverware and the Carabao Cup is now looking all but certain to be out of our reach, given how much we have to do at St. James's Park in the second leg. But I was calling for Kai Havertz to take the penalty. And, we'll get back to Kai Havertz and penalties in a bit. But anyways, not a great penalty at all. Easily saved. And so, we go into extra time. And I forgot the worst moment of the game. In the dying moments, Martin Odegaard plays a cross in. And Kai Havertz, again, inexplicably misses from point-blank range. He was in the 6-yard box. It's just so sad, man. It's really just sad. And I'm not going to, look for a scapegoat tonight. I don't really care to put all the blame on any one player. But when you have been given the reign as our starting number 9, as our striker, you just can't be missing those chances. The game would have been over, and this video would have had a very different tone had we won it late on. But we didn't, and it always felt like if the game went into extra time, that it was going to go to penalties, and we were going to lose. That's really just how I felt, to be quite honest with you. So yeah, extra time, really just more of the same. Nothing great came out of extra time. A really frustrating watch all around. And again, it just felt like the Arsenal of 2020 or 2021, where we were just spamming crosses in. And I said that after the Newcastle game. And I might have said that after the Brighton game, but especially the Newcastle game, we were just cross after cross after cross. And it was the same tonight, man. And it's just reflecting such a lack of inventiveness, of creativity. It was a painful watch, man. It really was. We're just kind of awful right now. Obviously, I wouldn't be speaking with such dramatic emotions if we won the game. But even then, right? Whether it was Odegaard putting in the penalty or Havertz, tapping in or not tapping in, but finishing late on, I think that we still would have won while covering up some clear deficiencies in our team. And I don't think we really did. We didn't deserve to win the game, that's for sure, right? So, yeah, penalties. Again, I said we'd get back to it, but I thought Kai Havertz should have taken the penalty that Martin Odegaard missed. But credit to Martin Odegaard, he recovered well and scored his penalty. It was a nice penalty in the shootout, but then it was Kai Havertz whose penalty was saved in the shootout, and it was the deciding penalty in the end, and it was a poor penalty. So I don't have too much more to say about the game because I'm just going to go in circles, but it's really hard to watch this Arsenal team right now. And I think, again, I'd be misleading you to ignore the fact that this team is definitely fatigued. This is an exhausted Arsenal team, so short of depth right now. And as well, short of confidence. I think there's a clear mental block going on right now with this team. And Gabriel Jesus was taken off in a stretcher. I haven't seen what happened, but it was very quick that, there was very little time between him going down and him being taken off on a stretcher. So it must be really serious. So, of course, for Wednesday in the North London Derby against Tottenham, that leaves us with, 4 recognized attackers. We have Leandro Trossard, Kai Havertz, Gabriel Martinelli, and Raheem Sterling. I got to give credit to Raheem Sterling, who came on for Gabriel Jesus, because he actually did pretty well. He wasn't incredible. There were still a few times where he showed too much of the ball, took some heavy touches, and got tackled pretty easily. But still, there were a few moments where he really showed some strong footwork, some strong ball control. And there was one time where he got to the byline and played a ball back, and we could have made something of it, but we didn't. So credit to him because, he's not had an easy time so far this season, and he just came back from injury. But I think he looked pretty decent. And given our attacking woes now, injury-wise, I don't think he's going to start on Wednesday. I think it'll be Trossard, Havertz, and Martinelli. But Sterling looked like someone who can potentially make something happen, hopefully. But, it's January 12th. There are 20... my math is off, 19 days left in the transfer window. And I just don't think we're going to sign anyone that will solve the problems that we have right now. And it's looking like a failed season. I can't lie anymore, Carabao Cup is all but done. We're out of the FA Cup. Yes, there's the chance that we could make an incredible run in the Champions League if all of our players are fit in the right moment, if they all come together at the right time. But, that's going to be very difficult, of course, for obvious reasons. And then the Premier League, Liverpool continue to look like the best team. And, the 3 times that they've drawn, we have also drawn. So we just don't look like we're showing what it takes to make up for lost ground. And, it also has to be said that luck is just not falling our way this season. To be champions, you need a little bit of luck. To win silverware, you need a little bit of luck. And we are so devoid of any luck this season. But, at the same time, you create your own luck sometimes, and we're not doing ourselves any favors in the way that we're playing football and the way that we're approaching games. So again, I'm not even going to bother talking about, Arteta in, Arteta out. I'm still Arteta in. This game, you have to question his starting midfield. I don't know why you would bench both Partey and Rice. It's a bizarre decision. They know more than we do, obviously. Maybe they were both feeling fatigued and they needed some resting time. But look, at the end of the day, they both played extra time, right? So they didn't get much of any rest in the end, anyways. Um, so really low right now, man. And I guess you could say that the North London Derby's coming at the perfect time in the sense that a win would do us a lot of good in terms of boosting morale. But at the same time, we're entering that game off the back of two straight home losses, our first two home losses of the season. So, huge game on Wednesday, and we have so few starting options. Ricardo Calafiori wasn't even in the squad tonight. So, again, his injury proneness is just showing. And so, Miles Lewis Skelly, at the age of 18, is our uncontested starting left back. Yeah, man, I'll stop here and I'll try to make another video tomorrow with some more gathered thoughts, but really nothing positive to report. And I wrote my master's thesis in my master's program here in London about Arsenal's No More Red initiative and how brilliant it is, and how incredible Arsenal is for bringing the knife crime and youth violence epidemic in London to the global stage, or making it known to the world of football. But so many fans were complaining about how we're cursed in this shirt. And I was so desperate for us to win also, so that people could start to appreciate No More Red for what it is and not see it as a curse that has been cast upon us whenever we wear it. But again, we've lost. We lost at home to Liverpool in the FA Cup wearing it a year ago. We've lost in the FA Cup at home again tonight. We've only won once in it, and that was away at Oxford United. So you'd expect us to win that game, of course. So, yeah, man, really low. And it's going to be a tough few days, man. We need to win on Wednesday, for not even for like the way, staying in the title race or anything. It's just to keep these fans sane and to keep the fans on board and to keep these players from going under, because it just feels like our season's hanging by a thread now. So I'll leave it there, folks. I hope you're able to forget about the game sooner rather than later, and I'll be back with you soon to talk about the North London Derby. So take it easy wherever you are in the world, and come on, you Gunners. Peace.